Hi there and welcome to Modern English Proficiency Level, lesson number 15. Today we're going to be talking about playboys and playgirls, fun subject, but first let's look at the warm-up. So everybody repeat after me. How many boards could the Mongols hoard if the Mongol hordes got bored? Okay, one more time. How many boards could the Mongols hoard if the Mongol hordes got bored? Alright, so let's explain what this means. First of all, how many boards? A board is a piece of wood. You use boards to build something like a house. That's a board, okay? A piece of wood. A piece of wood that's cut very regularly is a board. Second, Mongol horde. Well, in China's history, Mongol hordes took over a big part of the country. First of all, a horde is a whole group of people, all right? Now, these people went throughout China, led by Genghis Khan, and took over most of the country, actually. So, that's the Mongol hordes, all right? And finally, if they got bored, of course you know if they got bored. You're bored, you have nothing to do, nothing's interesting. I'm so bored. So you can say I'm bored, there's nothing to do, all right? So, oh, and also remember, there's a difference between bored and boring. You could say, the movie was boring. You wouldn't say, I'm so boring. Be careful on this. I hear a lot of people make this mistake. I'm so boring. That means I'm not interesting. You want to say, I'm so bored. That means I can't find anything that interests me. That means everything is boring, okay? So, let's do this one more time. How many boards could the Mongols hoard if the Mongol hordes got bored? Okay? Let's go on to the next part. Okay, so we just finished the warm-up. Let's talk about some of the words that we learned during the warm-up. First question, what is a board? This is a noun. What is a board? That's right, a board is a long, regularly shaped piece of wood. A board is used to build things. Very good. Next question, what is a horde? Okay, a horde, very good. A horde is a group of people. All right? But also when we're talking about a verb, a hoard can mean to take a whole bunch of stuff and keep it. You can hoard food. Okay. Okay, last question. If I say I'm bored, what does this mean? If I say I'm so bored, what do I mean? That's right. It means things are not interesting. I feel like I want something to do. I'm bored. Very good. Okay, now let's take a look at the interesting idioms. So we're talking about playboy and playgirls today. Playboys and playgirls. First of all, what is a playboy? Well, Playboy, famous magazine in the United States, right? Playboy magazine, the magazine with all the naked women in it, right? Playgirl is also a magazine in the United States. That's a magazine with all the naked men in it. Huh? Oh, wow, exciting. So, two meanings, right? It can be a magazine, but also the magazine got its name from a term playboy, which means somebody that won't settle down, somebody that doesn't have one girlfriend, somebody that won't get married, somebody that just wants to date a whole lot of different women. Now, you could also say playgirl, same thing. A playgirl doesn't take it seriously, doesn't take relationships seriously, wants to play around. All right, let's look at the first sentence then. Repeat after me. People say she's easy. Okay, one more time. People say she's easy. Now, what does this mean? If somebody's easy, does that mean they have a nice personality? Does that mean they're easy to get along with? No. In this sense, if you're talking about easy, it could be a bad thing. Easy means she's really easy to take to bed. She's really easy to get into bed. That means, yeah, she's very easy, okay? So, this has kind of a negative connotation when you're talking about a girl, if you're easy. A guy, I've never heard anybody say a guy's easy. I think all guys are probably easy. People say she's easy. Okay, good. Let's look at the next sentence. He's a pimp. Okay? One more time. He's a pimp. All right. What is a pimp? Exactly. What are we talking about when we're talking about a pimp? Well, I hope you know what a whore is, right? What's a whore? All right. Well, hopefully you have the translation on the screen. But a pimp is a person that controls a whole lot of whores. Whore is somebody that will sleep with you for money, right? Now, a pimp is the guy that controls the whores. Maybe he tells the whores where to go, what to do. Well, of course, they already know what to do. But he gets a cut of their money, too, because he protects them. If somebody beats them or something like that, he will find them and probably beat them. But a pimp is always dressed in a very flashy way. That means a pimp is always wearing very good clothes, very expensive clothes. Maybe the clothes are too expensive. Maybe the clothes are too flashy because he wants to advertise. He wants to show that he has so much money that a whore will want to work for him because look at him. He's got these nice clothes on. He must be earning a lot of money. So a pimp will have lots of jewelry. A pimp will have a nice coat, a nice hat, maybe walk around with a cane. But a pimp has very good clothing. So, also in the United States, this has picked up a slang meaning. If I say you look pimp, it means you look like a pimp. This is not a bad meaning. It just means you have very nice, expensive clothes on. You look pimp. Do you understand? So if I say you look like a pimp, it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But anyway, that's what a pimp is. So let's go over this one more time. Say it one more time. He's a pimp. All right. So, but in this sense, it means the guy has lots of girlfriends, okay? Or he could literally be a pimp. He could literally be a pimp, like the definition I just told you. Or it could also mean that he just has many, many girlfriends, so he behaves like a pimp. All right, so one more time. He's a pimp. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next one. What a player. Okay, one more time. What a player. Now, a player is very similar to playboy or playgirl, but you could use this for a man or a woman. A player is somebody that just treats love like a game. They don't take it seriously. They think they're playing a game. Do you understand? A player is not serious about love, not serious about getting married or settling down. That's a player. So you can use this for both a man or a woman. You could say that woman is a player or that man is a player. So let's do the sentence one more time. What a player. All right, very good. Let's look at the next one. Ooh, this one's tough, so listen very carefully. He has many girlfriends. Boy, I hope you caught that. Those are some difficult words. Let's try that one more time. It's a good thing you guys are in development. Wait, no, your proficiency. So I think you can maybe understand this one. Let's try one more time. He has many girlfriends. Now we better dissect this sentence because this one sometimes gives people a lot of problems. So first of all, he. What does he mean? He is a male, right? A man. Could be a boy too. You could call a boy he. Or any animal, he, right? A man, okay? A male, okay? So, he has. What does has mean? Has means he owns, okay? He owns. Many. Let's sound that out. Many. What does many mean? Many means a lot of, right? If you just have one girlfriend, do you have many girlfriends? No, that's right, you don't. You just have one. If you have 5 girlfriends, is that many? Well, some guys would say that's just about right. But you could also say many, more than one, okay? That's many. And finally, this last one, girlfriends. Okay, well, let's take this apart. 2 words, right? Girl, friend, okay? So girlfriends means friends that are girls. It can have 2 meanings. Your girlfriend can be your lover, or it could just be a friend that's a girl. Oh, I know that's a difficult sentence. So let's say it one more time. He has many girlfriends. Wow, that was tough. Okay, let's look at the next one, all right? I want a sugar daddy. All right, you have to smile when you say this one. I want a sugar daddy. Yeah, good. Or, if you're a man, you'd have to say it this way. I want a sugar mama. Yeah, and one more time. I want a sugar mama. All right, so what's a sugar daddy? Well, think about this. Maybe you've seen a sugar daddy before. Have you ever walked down the street and seen an old, ugly guy with no hair and he's fat, but he's probably rich, and he's got a really young girl walking on his arm with him? Well, he'd probably be a sugar daddy. That's an older person that has a lot of money and can pay for the nice clothes for the young woman. Do you understand? Okay, and a sugar mama would be exactly the opposite. An old, ugly woman that's paying money to buy clothes, buy things for a young, attractive man. That would be a sugar mama. All right? So let's say it one more time, but with feeling. I want a sugar daddy. All right? And one more time. I want a sugar mama. Okay, that's it. Let's go on to the next part. All right, now that we've learned all these interesting sentences, let's have a little practice. Let's have a little quiz on some of the words we've learned so far. First question, what does it mean if I say a girl is easy? What does that mean? That's right, it means it's very easy to get her into bed with you. Very good.
Wait up, Carl.
What's up, buddy?
Thank you for the party on Saturday, and I must say, your girlfriend is a real knockout.
I'm glad everything turned out well.
You've had a string of pretty ladies, haven't you? You really like to play the field.
Well, I'm not interested in settling down yet.
Have you always been a player?
I've always been interested in women, if that's what you mean.
And I think they know you're a womanizer.
Doesn't matter. I don't pretend. They always know from the start I'm not planning for the long haul.
So, they just like to play around, huh?
Some of them. I think the others hope that they can be the one that settles me down. Maybe someday.
All right, now let's take a look at the 10 sentences. We have a lot of fun things we can say about playboys and playgirls. So let's learn some different ways to talk about them. We'll learn some different terms and we'll learn some different phrases. So repeat after me. Sentence number 1. All the girls know he's a womanizer. Okay? One more time. All the girls know he's a womanizer. All right, so what's a womanizer? A womanizer is just another way to say playboy, but it's got an even more negative connotation. This is a man that totally uses women. He uses them and throws them away. He smokes them like a cigarette and throws them away. That's a good analogy. That's a womanizer, okay? Just use a woman like something and throw away like garbage. A womanizer, okay? And usually, if some man is like this, all the women will talk. They know he's a womanizer. That's why all the girls know. So, let's do the sentence one more time. All the girls know he's a womanizer. Okay, good. Let's look at the next one. Number 2. He's always trying to be a player. Okay, good. One more time. He's always trying to be a player. Okay, why would you say a player? Well, think about a game. If you're playing basketball, you're a basketball player. If you play soccer, you're a soccer player. If you play football, you're a football player. The reason we say player is because a player is somebody that treats love like a game. Just like basketball, soccer, or football are games, they treat love like a game. So you could say he's a player. You could also use this for a woman. A woman can be a player as well. So let's read that sentence one more time. He's always trying to be a player. All right, very good. Let's look at the next sentence. Number 3. Baby, you're the only one for me. Good. Let's say that again. Baby, you're the only one for me. All right. What does this mean? Okay, well, baby, this could just be a nickname, like a pet name, right? You could call somebody baby, and you could say, you're the only one for me. You're the only one for me. You're the only person in this world for me. Now, this sounds like something perhaps a player would say. Players lie a lot, right? If they want to get what they need, they have to lie. So you could look at somebody, look them deeply in the eyes and say, baby, you're the only one for me. Okay, so let's do the sentence one more time. Baby, you're the only one for me. All right, good. Let's look at the next one. Number 4. He really likes to play the field. Okay? One more time. He really likes to play the field. All right, now we're using the sports analogy one more time. You can be a player or you can play the field. The place where you play a game is called the field usually. If you play baseball, you're on a baseball field. Okay? If you play soccer, you're on the soccer field. If you play football, you're on the football field. So this is just another way to say somebody is a player. Somebody plays love like a game. You play the field. That means you one person to one person to one person. You play it like a game, okay? So, let's say that one more time. He really likes to play the field. All right, good. Let's look at the next one. Number 5. He's not interested in settling down. Okay? One more time. He's not interested in settling down. Now, what does it mean to settle down? First of all, what does it mean to settle? Okay, one meaning of settle would be, think about if you have some medicine, okay? You have some medicine that you have to mix with water, right? You pour some powder in there and mix, 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 mix. Of course, the medicine's all mixed around, but if you leave it there for maybe an hour, the little pieces of the medicine will start to fall to the bottom of the glass. They will settle. They will slow down and stop, won't they? So settle down has a similar meaning to this. When you settle down, you stop moving around from girl to girl to girl. You find one girl and you be quiet and you stop and you go somewhere and you have a home, you have children, you get married. That's settle down. Just to get married, have children, make a home means settle down. Okay? So another meaning too also, if I tell you settle down, if I say it like that, it can also mean be quiet, be more calm. If I walk into the classroom and everybody's talking, throwing things around, I can say settle down. Just means be quiet, sit down, listen to me, all right? But the same thing, you're going around, finally down, right? Just like settle, okay? So let's read that one more time. He's not interested in settling down. Okay, good. Let's look at the next one. Number 6. She likes to play around. Okay, one more time. She likes to play around. All right, another sports analogy, play around, right? You're playing love like a game. But you can use it this way too. He likes to play around. You know he's a player if he likes to play around. You can use it for a woman too. She likes to play around. So, let's do it one more time. Number 6. She likes to play around. Okay, good. Let's move on to number 7. Number 7. He's just fooling around. He's just fooling around. All right, fooling. What does fooling mean? If you fool somebody, you trick them, right? You're not serious. I can say, are you fooling around or are you serious? Opposite, right? Fooling around and serious, kind of like joking, right? So if you're just fooling around, that means you're just playing around. You're a player again. You're just playing with somebody. You're not serious about settling down. So if you're fooling around, once again, you're playing love like a game. You're fooling around. So let's read this one more time. He's just fooling around. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next one. Number 8. She gets around. Okay, one more time. She gets around. All right, well, think about it this way. If you get around, you go from one place to one place to one place to one place and then come back. What we're talking about here is this girl goes from boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend to boyfriend. You can also use this for a man. He gets around. Just means you go all the way around, come back again. Okay? Get around. Just means you're a player too, okay? You're not serious about love. So let's read this one more time. She gets around. Okay, good. Let's move on to the next one. Number 9. Baby, don't worry about your boyfriend. He'll never find out. All right, one more time. Baby, don't worry about your boyfriend. He'll never find out. Ooh, this one's evil. Now, this is something a guy would say to a girl. If you're hitting on a girl, you say, hey, you want to come back to my place? The girl says, no, I have a boyfriend. You could say, baby, don't worry about your boyfriend. He'll never find out. We can do a little love on the side. We can cheat a little bit, right? So, something you'd say to somebody that already has a girlfriend. Now, could you say, baby, don't worry about your girlfriend. She'll never find out. Yeah, sure, you could say that, I guess. Okay, but anyway, let's say this one more time. Baby, don't worry about your boyfriend. He'll never find out. All right, good. Let's move on to the next one. And you practice that one because it might come in handy someday for you. Anyway, number 10. She likes to go from man to man. Boy, this is tough to figure it out, isn't it? Well, let's say it one more time. She likes to go from man to man. Well, what do you think that means? From man to man to man to man. Come on, that's easy. You can also say somebody likes to go from house to house, from town to town. You can use this structure for many things. Just go from one place to another, right? But in this case, it's from man to man. So let's say that one more time. She likes to go from man to man. All right, great. Let's move on to the next section. All right, now it's time for the short quiz. Let's do the first question. We're talking about womanizers and all that kind of stuff. We're talking about playboys and playgirls. So, let's do the first question. Tell me, what is a womanizer? That's right. A womanizer is a person that goes from woman to woman. Remember I told you, smokes them like a cigarette and throws them away. Very good. All right, let's do the next question. What is a player? If I'm talking about romance, what's a player? That's right. A player is somebody that treats love like a game. Very good. Next question. What does it mean if I'm playing the field in romance? That's right, playing the field. Yes, playing the field means I'm not ready to settle down. I'm going from person to person to person. I have many different girlfriends. Very good. Next question. What does it mean if I want to settle down? That's right. It just means get married, buy a house, have kids. Very good. Next question. What does it mean if I'm playing around? If I have a girlfriend, but I'm just playing around. That's right, it means I'm not serious about her. I'm not serious about the relationship. I don't want to settle down. All right, it's time for a little humor, so get ready to laugh. This joke is entitled, Sharing an Order. All right, there was an old couple that went to McDonald's. They ordered one cheeseburger, one large French fry, one large drink, and an extra large orange juice. When the old couple sat down, the man sitting next to them watched the old man cut the burger in half, taking half of the fries and giving half to his wife, and pouring the orange juice into another cup that he ordered. The man at the next table felt really strange, so he went over there and told the couple that if they didn't have enough money to buy a meal for each of them, he would be happy to pay for it. The old man shook his head and told him that there was no need because he and his wife had shared everything for the last 40 years. That's touching. The man went back to his seat, and then he saw the old man eating while the old woman just sat there doing nothing. He went over to them again and asked the old lady why she wasn't eating. She said, "Well, it's his turn to use the teeth." That's funny. All right, so anyway, a couple words we can talk about. It's an old couple, right? Two people, a couple of people. There's an old couple sitting at McDonald's. They ordered a cheeseburger. We talked about cheeseburger before, right? A hamburger with cheese on top is a cheeseburger. And they're sharing the cheeseburger, right? They cut it in half. They're sharing it. Well, the man takes half the French fries, gives it to the woman, and half the hamburger, the cheeseburger, and gives it to her. He also pours half of the orange juice into another cup. Pours it, right? Pours it. Now, the guy sitting at the next table feels strange, right? He feels funny. He feels something's wrong, so he decides he'd be happy to pay for another meal. Well, no, they've shared things for the last 40 years. So anyway, the punchline, the funny part of the joke, the end of the joke is that the man is using the teeth. What we're talking about here are false teeth. When you get old, sometimes your teeth will fall out and you have to buy false teeth, fake teeth to put into your mouth. So they only have one pair of false teeth. So first the man eats, then he pulls out his teeth and gives them to the woman. All right, that's their joke. On to the next part. All right, well, everybody knows that you can have playboys and you can have playgirls. A playboy is a man that doesn't want to settle down. A playgirl is a woman that doesn't want to settle down, that wants to be a player. But I want to talk to you right now about what's called the double standard. What is a standard, first of all? A standard is like some rules that we're held to, right? There's many standards. Like if you manufacture a product, you have a standard for cleanliness. If I make some sort of food, like some sausage, I can't put very much dirt in there, can I? No, it's got to be meat. There's American Standard also. American Standard is a type of toilet and sink, but it's just held to a standard, right? It's that standard. It's like the line that you should go to. But anyway, double standard is a standard that works for one person but doesn't work for another person. It applies to one person but does not apply to the other person. That's a double standard. Now, when we're talking about romance, for men and women, there's a double standard. If a woman goes out with lots of different guys all the time, after a while, she'll be labeled as something like a slut. Ooh, that sounds like a bad word, doesn't it? Even if you don't know what the word means, it sounds nasty. You slut. Right, that's because slut it's very close to whore, okay? Slut, I'd probably define this as a whore that doesn't get paid. Just goes from person to person to person because of the pure enjoyment of it. That's a slut. So you can get labeled like that. Now, if a man does the same thing, goes from woman to woman to woman, he'll probably be labeled a hero. I don't know, maybe. But that's what's known as a double standard for men. Sometimes if a man goes from woman to woman to woman, instead of a hero, we could call him a stud. Now, a stud is what? A stud literally is a horse, like a very valuable horse, like an old racehorse that can't run anymore. And his job is to just make baby horses. They just put him onto a ranch and he just makes baby horses all day. Well, think about a guy like that too, a stud. Not necessarily an old guy, but somebody that just does that job all day long. Anyway, that would be a stud. So it's a positive thing for a guy, isn't it? If you say, yeah, I got lots of girlfriends, everybody thinks, wow, you're pretty popular. If a girl goes around saying, yeah, I got lots of boyfriends, everybody will say, ooh, what's wrong with you? You're gross. Now, this is cross-cultural, I think. I mean, everybody in China probably feels the same way. If some woman is known to have many, many boyfriends, what would you think? Would you want to go out with her? No. But if it's a guy that's had many girlfriends before, well, you could take it two ways. First, you could think, maybe he's a womanizer. Or second, you could think, well, maybe he does something right. So that's what's known as a double standard. Sometimes we apply a standard differently to different people, men or women. One last thing I'd like to talk about that's not covered in your book is two-timer, term two-timer. Two-timer. If you're a two-timer, this means you have two girlfriends, but you have them at the same time. You have one girlfriend over here and another girlfriend over here, and the two girlfriends don't know about each other. You can do this if you're a woman too. You can have one boyfriend here and one boyfriend here, but they don't know about each other. That's a two-timer. Very important term that I want you to learn, okay? So, if I say you're two-timing that girl, that means that you have another girlfriend that she doesn't know about. All right, so a couple important things we covered. Two-timer, cultural standards, and double standard, okay? We want to talk about the double standard. Sometimes rules apply differently to different people. All right, let's move on to the next part. All right, now it's time to do the role play, or the good practice. I want you to get together in a group of 2 or 3, and I want you to talk about this question. Do you think it's acceptable to have several boyfriends or girlfriends? Is it acceptable? That means, can society accept it? Do they look at you strange if you have several boyfriends or several girlfriends? All right? And talk about how a person like this is seen. If you know a man has maybe 3 girlfriends, what would you think about him? Or if you know a woman has 3 boyfriends, what would you think of him? All right? So get together with your group and talk about this question. How are people with several boyfriends or girlfriends seen in society? All right? Get together and talk. All right, for this role play, I need groups of 2. So get together with a partner, and what we're going to do is we're going to pretend one of you has many boyfriends or many girlfriends, and the other one wants to joke around with you. So I want you to use some of the vocabulary, some of the terms we've learned in this lesson to joke around with your partner who has many boyfriends or many girlfriends. So remember, use some of these things we talked about today and joke around. When you finish doing that, I want you to trade roles. The other person will be the one with many boyfriends or girlfriends and joke around with them. All right? Go ahead, get in your groups and start.